What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammett, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as Mental Illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how narcissistic people compare you to their exes in order to manipulate you. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. Thank you. So narcissists and toxic people will compare you to their exes as a manipulation tactic to get you to do things that you normally wouldn't do, to get you to work harder for them. And if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. I have narcissistic personality disorder. So a lot of narcissists and toxic people will bash their exes, will talk down their exes, with all my exes are crazy and things like that, in a way to get you to lower your guard and also not be crazy. But some narcissists will talk good about their exes to make you work harder to get them. If you like me, you work harder than the other person did to get me. Oh, my ex was a great person, but they never did this right here, and that would have made me so happy. So guess what you're going to do? You're going to take that little tidbit and you're going to do that to make them happy. And the last part of your statement right here says, I don't matter, but always seeks me out. That means you matter. That argument right there, you don't matter, but I'm going to seek you out, collapses in on itself like a neutron star, y'all. It's a way to devalue you and make you seem like you should be grateful that that person is seeking you out. Hope this. So welcome back. If you could not read the text on the screen, it says, why does a narcissist compare me to his ex? Says I don't matter, but always seeks me out. Comparing you to their ex. Like narcissistic people absolutely love comparing you to their exes. That's just that's just a manipulation tactic, y'all. Toxic people love to compare the new supply to the old supply, and the old supply to the new supply. And like a lot of times it leads to a lot of triangulation where you pit a few people, two or more people against each other by spreading rumors, by telling lies, by, compare and contrast, telling you what the other person did more or less than, you know what I mean? And like I said in the short video, it's a way to manipulate you into getting you to do things that you probably wouldn't do. You know what I mean? You probably wouldn't do it. So if they like I said, if you're dealing with a narcissist or a toxic person and they always bring up their ex, like I was saying earlier, all narcissists don't talk down on their exes. They just don't. All narcissistic people, toxic people, whatever, do not talk down on their exes. I know a lot of people are like, all narcissists bash their exes. Not all of them don't. All narcissists don't bash their exes. Like me, for instance, I would not bash my ex. Like the way narcissists, my mind works is like, I could use my ex and the things that they didn't do to get you to do them. Just like, oh, my ex would have made me so much more happier if they would have did this to me, if they would have did this for me, if they would have did this with me. Like, you see how that stuff works right there? If you want me, if you want to make it work, you would start to do those things. It's so subtle, y'all. It's like a subtle way to manipulate you. Then they'll keep doing it. And they like, yes, some narcissistic people will absolutely put down their exes for no reason. Which is a red flag, y'all. If they just continuously talking down on their exes, I do feel like that's a red flag. Just for no reason. If they just wake up in the morning and start cursing their ex, that's a red flag to me. If they wake up in the morning and just start praising their ex, that is also a red flag. Like, why they should not be this hyper focused on their ex when they should be focused on you. You mean, like I said, I would tell you, like my ex, if you like me, if you want me, I'm love bombing you, right? I'm love bombing you, or you've been previously love bombed, so you know what we're capable of doing together, me and you. So I could like literally tell you, I could say like, hey, look, my ex hated me drinking Fiji water. I love Fiji water. My ex just never ever gave me Fiji water. And I just kind of started to resent her for that after a while. Guess what? You might try to get me Fiji water. You might start, I know this is a simple analogy, but you might try to get me Fiji water. Like they'll use their exes against you. Or they'll tell you the horrible things that their ex did to them, and you'll start to hate their exes. And that narcissist or toxic person is probably lying about the dynamics of the relationship, or why it ended, or how it ended, or what actually happened. They're just giving you their story, the Cliff Notes version, you know what I mean? My old relationship for dummies version of what happened. You know what I mean? They do that type of stuff right there. They do it all the time. It's just the way, it's the way of the world, y'all. It's the way of the world. If you're dealing with a narcissist or toxic person, understand that this is going to be part of your relationship dynamic. Some of them never let go of their exes. Sometimes they, like I said, they'll be with you and still holding on to the ex, leading the ex on, talking junk about you, telling the ex that they that y'all relationship is not going good, just to keep the ex, the old supply, on the hook. If y'all allow that, if you see it happening, the ex reaches out to you and tell you it's happening, and you just turn a blind eye to it, buckle up, because you're in for a bumpy ass, terrible ride. You just are. Buckle up. I just don't see why people don't stop blindly believing people. Just like, oh, my ex did this, my ex did that. Yeah, could it be true? Yeah, it could absolutely be true. But it could also be false as hell. You know what I mean? Ask questions. So if you're afraid to ask questions in a relationship, you're going to get ran over top of. Narcissist or not, you're going to get ran over top of, and they're going to use you. They're going to get rid of you. You know what I mean? They just are. They really are. So if you're dealing with that type of person, if you're dealing with narcissists, understand that this is your, like, they're not going to let go. Most don't let go of their exes. A lot of narcissistic people tend to still be friends with their exes. All the exes still like them, and it makes you question the relationship a lot of times. Because if a narcissist is still friends with their exes and you think you're dealing with a narcissist, you're like, am I dealing with a narcissist? Am I the narcissist? Like, I heard narcissists do this, do that, do this, do that. Every narcissistic person is going to be different, y'all. But don't let them triangulate you against their exes. Like, they be having y'all, a narcissist will talk so much about their ex, they'll have you hating somebody you don't know. Somebody you probably never meet, especially if they don't have kids together. You'll probably never meet the ex. And if you do, goodness gracious, you already hate somebody you don't know based on the words that based on the description that somebody else has gave you. I'm just telling you, so asking questions, real questions. All my exes are crazy. Did you make them crazy? Why are all your exes crazy? Do you just pick crazy women? Do you pick crazy men? What's going on? What are you doing to these people? You know what I mean? But that's the way of the world, though, y'all. It's just like, there's narcissistic people will 100% absolutely use their exes. Will talk about their exes sometimes in a good way, to manipulate you into doing things that you might not have been doing. It's subtle. I'm just telling y'all, it's so subtle. And like I said, there's a second part of that question where it said, says I don't matter, but always seeks me out. I'm gonna wrap it up with this one right here. If a narcissistic person says that you don't matter but won't leave you alone, they have a new supply. They moved in with her, they trying to start a family, whatever they have going on. But they say you don't matter, but they won't leave you alone. You matter. You matter. I just feel like that argument collapse. Like I said, this TikTok, it collapses in on itself like a damn dying, like a dying star. You know what I mean? Like a dying sun. That argument collapses in on itself. You don't matter. You're worthless, but I won't leave you alone. As I said, if you don't matter, if you matter this little bit, this less, why won't they leave you alone? I'm just asking questions. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into another episode. I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet, y'all. If you don't know, live in-person meetup, July 23rd in Durham, North Carolina, at the Honeysuckle at Lakewood, 3 p.m. until. Come through. Me, Ben Taylor, Raw Motivation. Some other people might come through as well. Come through, say hey. It's a free event. Just come through. Just say hey, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Mental Illness is out. Peace.